Well, hello, Floss Tube. Welcome to my channel. This is Tracy's Threads, and today is August 2nd. I'd like to welcome you back if you've seen this previous one, or if you're new to the channel, welcome. Hopefully you enjoy my chit-chat about cross-stitch and whatnot. Anyway, so I would like to start with finishes, finally finished products, as we say. Anyway, I managed to get 3 items actually completed totally. 2 of them you saw the stitching was done last video. And the first one was the let's see if we can get this in here. Yeah, this is my 250 item. I don't have any patriotic, so this was the first one I'd actually done, and I completed this. It's a Primrose Cottage stitch, and it was a freebie, but I completed it at StitchCon, and now I have finally finished it. I put some little buttons and whatnot on it, so I think it came out really cute. But that's one. Oh, I found a needle. Okay. Number 2 is another Primrose Cottage. This is Whimsical Quaker. I actually obviously made it into a little pillow with strawberries on the back. But again, this was just finished the day I did my video, the stitching. So I just turned it into a little pillow to sit around the house somewhere. I really like it. I love the colors and the little froggies, but this is one of my favorite stitches so far this year. The other item I finished was a complete start to finish, and it's because I'm getting ready to go to Stitch Ridge, and we do a smalls exchange at the retreats, so I wanted to do a small, and here's mine. It's actually 2 different Shannon Christine charts. I combined them onto a scrappy piece of Ada I had, green Ada. And then the little candy corns here, that was just my own doing. I didn't have a pattern for that. I just winged it. But I made a little pin keep. And that will be my small exchange for the Stitch Ridge. Okay. So, besides those 3 items, let me put them out of the way here. I did get 2 more finishes, sort of. They're finished, but not finally finished, and they're not going to be finally finished for a while, because they're part of. The first one is let me get it out here, is the Pansy Patch Stitchery Lane. And I did the first house. I completed it. This is the Stitchery house. I know it's very close to the edge, but in order for this to all 9 of them to fit, I had to really use the fabric. I hate going that close to the edge, but I can make it work for framing and whatnot, since I do my own framing. So that is another finish. I am moving on to the second house, which will be the button house, I think. But that's my goal to work on, and hopefully have number 2 done by the next video. Okay, so we'll set that aside. The other finish I did is the hands-on nativity. It's part of the Tiny Towns, and I am doing all the Tiny Towns on one page. I did see someone else is doing the same thing. I forget who it was on YouTube. I was kind of tickled, because she's pretty much doing the same thing I am. Her order's a little different than mine's going to be, but I did find out that there's another one I don't have, which is the Christmas one. And I have determined that I'm going to have to leave one of the remainders out. I'm thinking about leaving the seaside, this one out. Just because it's so cute, I can do this by itself and put it somewhere else. And it's kind of the oddball to me. But all the other ones I'm pretty sure I can get on here. But because I had planned it one way, and then there were 2 new houses or villages put out, I had to adjust where things went, and I'm tightening up the space between the villages. But the nativity, I ended up putting at the top. Let's see if I can pull that back. Because it made sense to me to be at the top. Originally it was going to obviously be at the bottom, but I'm out of space, so I needed to find one to put up here, and that one made the most sense. So I think it's really cute, the little people and the animals. There's 2 little stars or little charms that were put on too. I have been putting all the buttons on and stuff as I go too with this one. So those are my finishes. I think I did pretty good. I have been very busy stitching lately because I am still out of work. Unfortunately, I will be out another month until all the, physical therapy and all that is done, and I'm released back to work. But something came up. I haven't spent a lot of time on Floss Tube, I'll be honest, watching other people. But I do spend a lot of time in my Facebook groups, and I noticed there was something called Midsummer Stitch. Had never done that before, and I thought, well, hey, I'm off, I'll be here, might as well. So I signed up, and I actually signed up for one of the classes from the Tiny Modernist one with the triptych, and I figured, well, I can do that because you don't have to go anywhere, it's all at home, it's a cool retreat. So I signed up for that, and of course I was trying to do it on my telephone, which is not recommended. Unfortunately, if I went into some of the rooms to chit chat with people, I couldn't get my camera to connect, and it just didn't work out real well. But I was able to observe, watch some of the floss tubers. There was several, the Sarahs, both of them met. That was on there. There was also Aaron, the running stitcher. I was really impressed with him. It's not often one that you find guys doing cross stitch, and he was really, I was impressed. Also, I forget his name, Cameron or something like that. He was another one that they had on the floss tubers, and I watched his, and his was fun too. I loved his tarot, the Witchy Stitchers tarot series. I actually have all of that, the files. I just haven't started it or anything because to me it was too big to stitch on one piece. But he did it, and I was very impressed with that. So doing that, I signed up, like I said, and of course there's exclusives, and I bought the exclusives. So I got JetX's exclusive, which is pretty cool looking. And I also, like I said, I signed up for the class. This was the class. Helen D has actually done it, and she had a video on it, showing hers completed and everything. Hopefully I can get, I haven't even stitched it. I just signed up 2 days before the thing, so I wasn't ready to do it. But hopefully I can get this stitched and actually complete it, because it's a really pretty chart. I like it a lot. So I got those. And then these were also listed as exclusives. Oh, this was a freebie from Tiny Monetarist if you got the, if you took the class. Not real good lighting on that one, huh? Well, anyway, I really like that. It's done on a purple background. You can't really tell it. There it is. I see the light. Okay. So I love the purple background, and I will probably do that on purple background. But this one also was on there listed as an exclusive. I don't know if this was from last one or what, but I bought it from Lindsay Stitches. So the other item I picked up was a huge exclusive, and it's beautiful. It's called A Boatload of Magic by the Blue Flower. And here is the actual chart, which is really neat. Although I'm making a little modifications, because I tend to modify everything. I can't leave well enough alone. But anyway, so the reason I'm showing you this now is this is one of my new starts. It's also a stitch along with the Sarahs, and they're hashtagging it Midsummer Start. So if you want to join in and you have the pattern, it was time to start August 1st. So I started it yesterday, and I spent the whole day stitching on it just because I didn't have anything else to do, really. I mean, I have other stitches, but here's my start. As you can see, she has a witch's hat, because I'm sorry, if you're talking about magic in the moon, it's a witch. So anyway, I was working on trying to put a witch's hat on her. And I'm going to have ribbons hanging down and stuff, so it's going to be cute. But that's my version so far. I am doing it on a purple fabric. This is actually called Napa fabric. It is by Mystic Fabrics, and it's 16 count Aida. Okay, so that brings me to all my new starts, and I had a lot. That was the big one. Sorry, I'm going to put everything away as we go so I don't lose anything or get stuff mixed up. Alright, so there's a couple Owl Forest charts that I have been wanting to do for a long time, and I bought the patterns a while ago, and I just up and decided I'm gonna do those. The first one is, get it out here, the Turtle Quaker. So it's a whole bunch of little turtles. And like I said, it's Owl Forest embroidery. They are across the pond, and unfortunately, fortunately for me, they do digital. And I do most of my stuff in Pattern Keeper. So I just ordered the digital version over. To get it overseas, the shipping, I guess, is horrendous right now. So I was trying to avoid that. But I did end up having to find some pretty floss, which then brought me down to my local needlework store, which happens to be Little Creek. And it's in Canton, Ohio. But I picked out a bunch of Weeks Dye Works floss, and I picked a whole bunch of different greens. See if I can hold them up here. So I think it's going to turn out really cute with all the greens. And I am doing it on, it's called Sugared Pistachio fabric. Once again, And this is millennial fabric, and this time it's 18 count Aida. So you will see my fabrics tend to mix. I mix and match all my fabrics. I like to stitch on pretty much anything. However, I am learning that I am really liking the even weaves and the linens now. So I'm starting to switch over to linens and even weaves. So that was another new start. I started that about a week and a half ago. The other Owl Forest embroidery chart I bought was Black Roses. And here she is in all her glory. This chart is amazing. Again, I'm going to modify a little bit. Instead of a queen, I'm going to make a witch. Because to me, that's just screams a witch's castle. It's beautiful. But I am doing the actual item on a Grace Notes fabric. This one is 32 count Lugana, and it's called Cinder. Let's turn it upside right here. And that's how much I've got accomplished so far. So I am going to stick with a black building, and probably the witch will be in black, but I want my roses to stand out. So all the roses in the image are going to be reds with the green for the leaves and stuff. And these are actually mistletoe green and Cupid red from Classic Colorworks. So I think it's going to be gorgeous when I'm done. I'm so excited that I was able to get this started. I think it's going to take a while, but we got time. Alright, so let me put all this back in here and see what other new starts we have. I bought some charts. I'm going to go over a haul a little later. I was kind of crazy this month. But I did buy a couple charts, and this one I decided to start for Stitch Ridge because of who's going to be there. The vendor that's going to be there is finally a farm girl. And it's funny because I bought this pattern just because I liked it, and it came in and I was reading on it and I realized it's the same person. It's finally a farm girl. So it's the Salem sampler, and again, it's just a new start. I've only worked on it about a couple days here and there. But I got the little house in the middle started. It's not done, but it's getting there. I'm trying to get you some little better view. I know the images are dark. We'll have to see if we can lighten them up. But this too, I'm modifying colors. This one I decided I'm just going to use what I have in the building here instead of going and buying floss. So I pulled some of my stash out. If you have any questions, just let me know and I could send you the color choices I picked. Uh-oh. Oh. I got 2 floss packs in there and I don't know which one goes to what. Oh well. Anyway, so another new start. I saw on, again, my Facebook page, there is a group, and it's the GH Sampler group. And they were doing something called stragglers, which means those that didn't start when they started. It is kind of a stitch along, and they have it all divided up into little sections for each month. So July was technically the halfway point. And if you were starting again, you know, if you missed the January start, then July was the start for the a straggler, so to speak. So I actually started it, and let me see if I have the image. I do. So here it is, the GH 1857 Stampler. Now, as you can see, it is done with a lot of blues, which I really liked. But again, I can't leave anything alone. I always change colors. So I decided mine was going to be in kind of burgundies. So here is my version. And again, if you're interested in my color schemes, just send me a message at the bottom of this or whatever. But I think this is going to be gorgeous. I actually got a little further than the first month. So I'm going to work on the second month. I am going to modify there's initials up here and over here. I'm going to change those, I think. And I think I'm going to put a 26 right here. A big 26 in the middle for the year. I'm not sure. I haven't decided officially yet what I'm going to do. But section 2, the next for this month, is right here. So I got to figure out what I'm doing. And I will do that over the next month. Hopefully before I see you again. So I'm going to stick this all back in here again.
Playing from Galaxy X Cover 7 Pro.
Sorry. Okay, so the next new starts, there are a couple. They're small. And again, I'm getting ready to go to Stitch Ridge. So there are 3 of them. And what I did is I tried to set them up so there's only a little bit left to complete on each project. In fact, I think it's 20% is left on each project. They are all Primrose Cottage, and they're the freebies they give out every month. So the first one is, let's see, we want the chart. The first one is this one, Sweetly Saying. And I have this much done. I'm going to leave it in the bag because it's got all the finishing fabric, the floss, everything in here to finish the product. But as you can see, I have most of it done. I just have a little bit to do here in the front. The other one is Summer Blessings. Again, these are Primrose Cottage. See if we can get the glare off of it. And here's my version. It's almost done. I just have a couple more flowers to do on this side where the needle is. And the last one, August to me starts fall, so obviously I'm talking about witches and stuff. I am in my fall groove. I love stitching Halloween stuff, and this is number 3, the Halloween Cauldron. This one I did not have the kit for, so this was me just picking out a random fabric. And I have grab bags from Mystic Fabrics, 16 count Ada, and there's a bunch of different colors in it. So this was my color. It don't give me the name, but because I picked a kind of darker fabric, I darkened up the flowers so they're in different colors than what was called for. Actually, everything is in different colors than what's called for. But I'm really liking it. It's bright. It's going to be really pretty. I have a special spot I want to put it if it fits. We'll see. So those are my 3 that I would like to get done at Stitch Ridge. We'll see. Because I know from going to StitchCon, you spend a lot of time talking and not a lot of time doing. So those are all my new starts. Now, besides all of those, the only other item I actually worked on in my mix was another Halloween stitch. And this one is the collectors. So it's my spooky one. I did pick up glow-in-the-dark floss and a neon floss. Not sure. I was thinking about mixing like a strands of each together to do these bright green dots on here, but we'll see. This one I am stitching on. Let me see here to show you how much I've got done. So I actually have one of the little hats done and their little eyeballs sticking out there. So I've got quite a bit done on this one. You can kind of see it there. It is on opalescent. The fabric is 14 count, and it's called Sprout by Witch's Garden Crafts. So I love this fabric. It's pretty. I wish it was in 16 or 18 count, but that's what I had, so I went with it. Alright, so that is all my stitching I have done in the last 2.5 weeks since I did the last video. Like I said, I've been really bad because I'm getting ready for Stitch Ridge. I wanted to do some certain projects, and I kind of, okay, so Midsummer Stitch, Stitch Me was on there, and I ended up making a purchase from Stitch Me. I actually did 2 separate purchases from her. One is, I think she has to dye it, but I decided one of my projects I'm going to restart on a new fabric. It was a full coverage. It's the dragon, if you saw my last video. I will show you when I get the fabric and stuff in, because I'm anxious to start it on the new fabric. But I figured if I do the actual dragon, just the dragon on the cool fabric in the back, I don't need to stitch the whole background, so that will save me some stitching. Also, that was on, I believe, 14 count, and I don't know, I'm beyond that. I wanted pretty fabric, so that's why I ordered it. But while I was looking, I found this other really pretty fabric. It's greens and peaches. I'm not quite sure what I had in mind when I bought it. I know there was a reason. The fabric is called Garden Party, and it's 32 count linen from Stitch Me. So that was one of the 2 purchases I made from her. She also had the Friday night fight. I forgot about it, so I didn't get to participate, or I would have probably had more. Okay, so Lindy Stitching was part of the Midsummer Stitch. She hosted it, and I of course made a purchase from her shop, and I found this beautiful little pattern from Counting Puddles. So this is hard copy, not digital, but I also found more fabric that I really liked. me see if I can get to it. And this is pistachio, 36 count Lugana. It is so soft. And it's a beautiful green. Again, I don't know what I'm going to put on it yet, but there is no shortage of projects to do. I will find something to put on it for sure. So, that was all from Midsummer Stitch. And I also ordered a 1, 2, 3 order. And I was looking for a couple things, but ended up... Oh, I'm sorry. This is mixed in this package. This is from Midsummer Stitch. This is the other item I ordered. One of the other items I ordered from Be Stitch Me. This was the fabric exclusive to the event. It's just amazing. It's blues and purples, which originally I thought about doing that boatload of magic on it, but I want to save it for something special, I think. And this is 32 count Lugana. But like I said, well, this came from Lindy Stitches, so yes, it's Be Stitch Me, but it was ordered through Lindy Stitches because of the thing. But I also got 2 other fabrics from her. One is just an Atlantic Lugana, and I got 32 count. It's a turquoisey color. It's nice and pretty. And then I got this beautiful dark hunter green. It's called Woodland by PTP Fabrics. I don't know, it just spoke to me. I'm sure it's 18 count Ada. I think that's all they had in that color. But there is something, I don't know what yet, that I planned on putting on that green. So, those are some of my purchases. The 1, 2, 3 stitch is where I got the Salem sampler. But I also found Crochetta Go-Go items. And I hadn't really seen a lot of her stuff. So I was going through them and like, oh, I'm in heaven. I found this one first. This is Autumn Lane. It's so cute with all the little animals and stuff. So I will be doing that probably this soon. Then I found these other 2 charts. And I'm undecided how I'm going to do them yet. But there's this adorable little fox. I love foxes, by the way, if you haven't noticed. There will be several of that stuff coming up. And I found the squirrel that goes with them. So originally when I got them, I thought, you know what? Animal crackers. I could just stitch them and make them into animal crackers. I think that would be really cute. But I have this picture. It's a picture frame. It's a window. And it has 8 holes in it. And I always wanted to find something that I could put 8 different cross stitches of in that hole. I don't know if these might be that. Because they're basically 5x7 slots. And like I said, there's 8. So depending on, I'm going to do measurements and see. I may do these guys for that. But then again, I really like the animal cracker concept. So I could, there was another one she had too, which I will go back and buy later too. But got all this. I'm trying to keep everything organized. So then we have my monthly subscriptions. I do the Millennial Fabric of the Month Club, and this month she sent us, the color is Sun Washed, and it is a really nice, pretty light yellow. And I believe this is 28 count Lugana, which I want to switch. I've decided I'm going to switch all my subscriptions again. They started out as 16 count Ada. Now I'm up to 28 count Lugana, but now I want to go even higher. I want to go to 36 count, either linen or Lugana. The other one I subscribe to is Grace Notes Fabric. And she sent out this one called Sandy Cove. And this is a beautiful neutral, which I was thinking would be perfect for that Crocetta Go-Go Autumn Lane. It's just nice. This is beautiful for a neutral. So I'm really liking that one too. All right. I also do a lot of Patreon. And I didn't go over any of that the last YouTube. But these were all charts I got from those little subscriptions. I sign up for the little freebie. So you get a freebie from each one. And these are the ones I really like. So the first one is Little Dove Designs out of the UK. And she did an adorable little strawberry house. I love this. I also do the Frosted Pumpkins version. And theirs is a really fun summer product. I love this. Those little heart eyeballs. So this was all for July. Sorry, that's my dog. One of my dogs, that's Luna. She is a Cane Corso. She's rather large and she's grumbly because I'm talking and not paying her attention. But anyway, the next one is Little Loops. And again, this one's out of the UK. And she does little adorable ones too. This one is Flower Delivery. I just love the goose. I'm going to have to stitch this one. And then one of my original Patreons that I've stuck with forever is the Tiny Modernist. This was her July version. And this is really pretty. It's bright. I like it. Waxing Moon is another one I subscribe to. I am on tier 2 on there. So tier 1 you get just a little one. And then tier 2 was a bigger one. Oh, I shouldn't have showed that one with the chart. I'm sorry. And then there is Hands-On Design, the ornaments. And if you haven't heard about them, they're doing the gingerbreads this time. So there'll be a series of gingerbread houses. And last but not least is Teresa Kogut. And this was her July version. The tomato. So I've got all those charts. I ordered more charts. And I also placed an order with Primrose Cottage because, you know, we got to get the kit for the next monthly product. And here is our finishing kit for Free Stitch Friday. This is the fabrics. Nice Halloween colors. And then here is the flosses. And look, it comes with an adorable pumpkin needle minder. I love him. I'm so tickled with that. But while I was there, I decided I needed some finishing boards. So I got some of these guys. I believe these are the 5-inch. Yeah, 5-inch rounds. And I decided that... Oh, I didn't show you. I bought some bags too. I will pull those out and show you. But I decided that I'm going to make some bags. And I bought the fall leaves for the outside and this cute little one for the inside. So I'm going to make a bag for that. And then I'll have spare for whatever else I want. Because as you know, I'm also a quilter, so fabric is a thing. But I did order new bags. Let me see how far down they are. Okay. This bag is butterflies. And this was from the... She gave me... Hold on, let me find her. I knew there was another reason this was up front. Here it is. So this is from the Golden Pineapple Stitcher. She has a floss tube. And I do watch her floss tube. I really like her channel. I like her. And I decided to support her. So I bought a bag. And then she sent me the free little needle minder, which is adorable. So I wanted to make sure I pointed that out. That is a gorgeous bag. I'm not seeing my other bag. So it must not be in things I'm using today. So I will show those bags next time. I do have a couple bags coming. Or, I'm sorry, another bag coming. No, that's what it is. I have two. One I ordered off Etsy, and it'll be coming soon. The other one I order from one of... I order a lot from her. Her name's Daisy. And she goes through Facebook. But I'll tell you all about that when hers lands. It's really pretty too. And she does good quality. Other than that, though, I do the monthly bags a month, or it's a quarter, from Millennial Stitches. So I think that pretty... Oh, no, I was going to show you this stuff. After my first floss tube, I also have an Instagram page. And I had somebody hit me up that actually does kits and designs. And she asked me if she could send me something. And I hesitated at first, but I'm like, yeah, why not? And she let me pick out 2 things. So I picked out a couple bookmarks. One of them came in yesterday. Obviously, I'm not stitching it today, but I wanted to show you the product. It is from P. Vitrulia. I'll show you here. It's just a bookmark. And it comes with the fabric, the floss, everything. And I'm like, oh, I can stitch that up in no time. So I figured I'd do that. The other one is a Halloween one. Of course. So I thought that was pretty neat. I will definitely get it stitched up probably this month. And then I was going to show you this. I don't know. Like I said, I'm getting ready for Stitch Ridge, and you do table gifts. So I decided to do a little table gift, and I'm going to give everybody at my table a little baggie with a cute little froggy on it. And in the baggie, I am putting a couple things. There's a little needle minder and they all got butterflies. A cool ink pen with frogs all over him. And there's a random assortment of Post-its, all with froggies. And who can't use one of those? And froggy stickers. And I happened to grab the bag that doesn't have one. But there's also a little mushroom scissor cap in them. So that's what my table mates are all going to get at Stitch Ridge. So I think I've covered everything. Hopefully you like what you saw. Please comment, like, subscribe, all that crazy stuff. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like. If you're going to do the stitch along, there's a few other stitch alongs that I'm kind of thinking I want to do from other stitchers I saw. The 911 stitcher is going to be at Stitch Ridge, I found, from watching hers. Hopefully, she's kind of under the weather, so she's not sure she's going to make it or not. But somebody was talking about a which are you stitching? I think that's started now, too. But I'll find out about all those. So, anyway, I'm glad you found me. Hopefully you like what you see. I'll try to get this posted tonight. I wanted to get it done before I leave for Stitch Ridge, which is Thursday. Alright, well, I'm going to try and do this every 2.5 to 3 weeks. So it seems to be like the standard. My dogs didn't make their presence known other than Luna. So hopefully this was a good visit. Thanks. See you next time.